Yep, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens.
Youngway Koo set to kick off.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will make it into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
3-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and
from the gun, Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Jackson from the shotgun. Steps away to his left. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Kickoff for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 20.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He was brought down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
On 2nd and a couple. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Duvernay. The 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
Younghoe Koo.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score, already down 21.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
And it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
7.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
He'll look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Evans. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, That allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run. The scoreboard tells a story for them, a little bit bleak. And while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close. But the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
The tackle made back at his...
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Rolling to his right. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Ravens have got it. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
That's caught inside the 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
He'll try and run it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
The keeper. A pickup of 2. Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, Jackson escaping the pressure right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
For the extra point.
I thought that was a nice job there, feeling the pressure and rolling out away from it and keeping the play alive. And I think he did it with the idea that his tight end would find his way free in the end zone, and his confidence was rewarded.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. And this carries into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Their own 16-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Grant. And all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Grant.